Welcome back to class. This is SAB Studios Academy, and I am so excited you're here again. In our last class, we talked about what AI filmmaking really is and what it's not. We talked about how it's not about shortcuts, it's about control. We talked about starting with ideas before tools. And we talked about thinking like a filmmaker, not just an AI user. Today, we're going to build on that foundation. Today, we're going to give you something incredibly powerful. We're going to give you a mental map, a framework, a structure that you can use for any project you create, whether it's a short film, a YouTube video, a music video, an ad, or even content for social media. We're talking about the pillars of AI filmmaking, from script to screen. By the end of this class, you're going to understand exactly how AI filmmaking works. You're going to know the 5 core pillars that every AI filmmaker uses. You're going to see how these pillars connect, and you're going to know which pillar to focus on first, based on what you want to create. This is a big class. This is important. So let's take it slow. Let's break it down step by step with plenty of examples. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, first thing I need you to understand is this. AI filmmaking is built on pillars, not random apps. What do I mean by that? When most people start learning AI filmmaking, they see 100 different tools: Midjourney, Runway, Pika, 11 Labs, Sora, Kling AI, HeyGen, DID. The list goes on, and it's overwhelming. People think, do I need to learn all of these? Where do I even start? But here's the thing. You don't need to think about tools first. You need to think about pillars first. A pillar is a foundation, a core function, a fundamental building block. Think about it like building a house. When you build a house, you don't think about every single brand of hammer and nail. You think about the foundational elements. The foundation, the walls, the roof, the plumbing, the electricity. Those are your pillars. Once you understand those, you can choose whichever tools help you build them. AI filmmaking is the same. There are 5 core pillars in AI filmmaking. Every AI film you ever make, every AI video you ever create, will use at least some of these pillars. Once you understand these 5 pillars, you'll know exactly how to approach any project. You'll stop feeling overwhelmed by tools because you'll know what each tool is actually doing. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to create a short film about a girl who talks to the moon. You have the story in your head. You know what you want to show. But how do you actually make it? If you're thinking about random apps, you're lost. You're asking, should I use this app or that app? Which one is better? You're stuck. But if you're thinking about pillars, it's clear. You ask yourself, do I need to create images of the girl in the moon? Yes, that's the text-to-image pillar. Do I need the girl to speak? Yes, that's the text-to-speech pillar. Do I need those images to move, to come alive? Yes, that's the image-to-video pillar. Do I need her lips to match what she's saying? Yes, that's the lip-sync pillar. See? Now you're not lost. Now you know exactly what functions you need. And once you know the function, you can pick any tool that does that function. This is the power of thinking in pillars instead of thinking in apps. So let's dive into the 5 pillars. I'm going to explain each one slowly, clearly, with examples. Let's go. The first pillar is text-to-image. This is where everything begins visually. Text-to-image means you type a description and the AI creates an image for you. You're turning words into pictures. You're building the visual world of your film. Let me give you a simple example. You type, a young girl standing on a hill, looking up at a glowing full moon, cinematic lighting, nighttime, wide shot. The AI reads that description and creates an image for you. Boom. You have your visual, you have your scene. This is the foundation of AI filmmaking. Before anything moves, before anyone talks, you need the visuals. You need the world, the characters, the locations, the objects. That's what text-to-image gives you. Now, let's be clear. Text-to-image is not just about making pretty pictures. It's about creating the exact visuals you need for your story. Let me give you another example. Let's say you're making a film about a detective investigating a crime. You need specific visuals. A dark alley with rain puddles, a detective wearing a long coat holding a flashlight, a close-up of a clue on the ground, a shadowy figure in the background. You describe each of those to the AI, and the AI creates those images. Now you have the building blocks of your film. Think of text to image as your set designer and your cinematographer combined. You're designing the world and you're framing the shots. This pillar is the most important pillar for beginners because this is where your vision becomes visible. This is where you stop imagining and start creating. Tools that do text to image include Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, Leonardo AI, and many more. But remember, don't worry about the tools yet. Just understand the pillar. Understand that this pillar is about creating the visual world with words. The second pillar is text-to-speech. This is how you give your characters a voice. Text-to-speech means you type what you want a character to say, and the AI generates a voice that speaks those words. You're turning text into audio. You're giving life to dialogue, narration, or voiceovers. Let me explain with an example. You have a character, a wise old man, and you want him to say, "The journey ahead is dangerous, but you must go." You type that line into a text-to-speech tool. You choose a voice, maybe a deep, calm, older-sounding voice. The AI generates the audio. Now your character has spoken. This is incredibly powerful because in traditional filmmaking, you would need a voice actor. You'd need to record them, maybe pay them, deal with scheduling, but with text-to-speech, you can create voices instantly. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but won't it sound robotic? Won't it sound fake? Not anymore. Modern text-to-speech AI is incredibly realistic. You can adjust tone, emotion, pacing, accent. You can make a voice sound happy, sad, angry, excited. You can make it sound like a child, an adult, an elderly person. The technology has come so far. Let me give you another example. Imagine you're making a motivational video for YouTube. You write a script. Every day is a new chance to become the person you were meant to be. Don't waste it. You use text-to-speech to generate a warm, inspiring voice reading that script. Now you have your narration, and it sounds professional. Or maybe you're making an animated short film with multiple characters. One character is a cheerful robot, another is a serious warrior. You can use text-to-speech to create different voices for each character. The robot sounds playful and energetic. The warrior sounds deep and intense. This pillar is essential for any project where you need dialogue, narration, or voiceover. And the beauty is, you don't need to be a voice actor. You don't even need to use your own voice if you're shy or if your voice doesn't match the character. Tools for text-to-speech include 11 Labs, Murph AI, Play.ht, Google Text-to-Speech, and others. Again, tools will come later. For now, just understand that this pillar is about giving voice to your story. The third pillar is image to video. This is where your still images start to move. This is where things come alive. Image to video means you take a static image, a picture, and the AI animates it. It adds movement, motion, life. Let me give you an example. Remember that image we created earlier? The girl standing on a hill looking up at the moon? It's a beautiful image, but it's not moving. It's frozen. Now you take that image and feed it into an image to video tool. You tell the AI, make the girl's hair blow gently in the wind. Make the moon grow brighter. Add subtle movement. The AI takes that still image and turns it into a video clip. Now the girl's hair is moving, the moon is growing, maybe clouds are drifting slowly across the sky. The scene feels alive. This is the magic of image to video. It bridges the gap between photography and film. Let me give you another example. Let's say you create an image of a warrior standing in front of a burning castle. It's a powerful image, but you want more. You want flames flickering, smoke rising, the warrior's cape moving in the wind. You use image to video. The AI animates all of that. Now your still image is a cinematic shot. This pillar is especially useful when you have a very specific visual in mind, but you need it to move. You create the exact image you want using text to image, then you bring it to life using image to video. One important thing to understand, image to video doesn't create wild, chaotic movement. The movements are usually subtle, smooth, cinematic. It's not like cartoon animation where characters are jumping around. It's more like breathing life into a painting. Think of it like this. Imagine the famous painting, the Mona Lisa. Now imagine if her eyes blinked, her lips curved into a slight smile, the background shifted gently. That's image to video. Subtle, beautiful motion. This pillar is powerful when you want control. You control exactly what the scene looks like by creating the image first, then you add the movement second. Tools for image to video include Runway Gen 3, Pika Labs, Kling AI, Luma AI, and others. The fourth pillar is text to video. This is the fastest way to create scenes from scratch. Text to video means you describe a scene with words and the AI generates a video directly. You skip the image step and go straight to motion. Let me explain with an example. You type, a spaceship flying through an asteroid field, dramatic music, cinematic camera movement, sci-fi style. The AI reads that and generates a video clip, not an image, a video. The spaceship is flying, the camera's moving, asteroids are floating by, it's all in motion right away. This pillar is incredibly useful when you want speed. You don't have time to create images first and then animate them. You just want a quick scene and you want it now. Let me give you another example. You're making a YouTube video about productivity, and you want a quick B-roll clip of someone typing on a laptop in a coffee shop. You type, person typing on laptop in cozy coffee shop, warm lighting, over the shoulder shot. The AI generates that clip. Done. Fast. Easy. Now, here's the difference between text to video and image to video. Image to video gives you more control because you design the exact image first. Text to video gives you more speed
because you go straight to video. Both are valuable. It depends on your project. If you need something very specific, very precise, use text to image first, then image to video. If you need something quick and you're okay with a bit less control, use text to video. Think of it like cooking. Sometimes you carefully prep every ingredient and cook from scratch, image to video. Sometimes you use a quick recipe and get food on the table fast, text to video. Both have their place. This pillar is great for B-roll, transitions, background scenes, or when you're experimenting and just want to see ideas quickly. Tools for text to video include Runway Gen 3, Sora, when available, Pika Labs, Kling AI, and others. Pillar 5, Lip Sync, making characters believable. The fifth and final pillar is lip sync. This is what makes your characters believable when they speak. Lip sync means you take a character, either a real person, an AI-generated person, or even an animated character, and you make their lips move perfectly in sync with audio. You match their mouth movements to the words being spoken. Let me explain why this matters. Imagine you create a character using text to image, a beautiful woman with long hair. Then you use text to speech to give her a voice. She's saying, "I've been waiting for you." Now you use image to video to make her come alive, to make her blink, to make her move slightly. But there's a problem. Her lips aren't moving. She's speaking, but her mouth is closed. It looks weird. It looks fake. It breaks the illusion. That's where lip sync comes in. You take that character and the audio, and you use a lip sync tool to make her lips move exactly with the words. Now when she says, "I've been waiting for you," her mouth opens and closes perfectly in sync. It looks real. It looks believable. This pillar is what takes your AI films from "that looks cool" to "that looks professional." Let me give you another example. You're making a short film about a conversation between two friends. Both characters are AI generated. They're talking back and forth. Friend 1 says, "Did you hear what happened yesterday?" Friend 2 says, "No, what happened?" If their lips don't move with the words, it's awkward, it's distracting. But if you use lip sync, their mouths move naturally with the dialogue, and suddenly it feels like a real conversation. This pillar is especially important for dialogue-heavy films, character-driven stories, anything where a face is speaking on screen. Now, I'll be honest, lip sync used to be one of the hardest parts of AI filmmaking, but now the tools have gotten so good, it's much easier. And here's the beautiful part. You don't always need lip sync. If your film doesn't have characters speaking directly to the camera, you might not need it. But when you do need it, it's a game changer. Tools for lip sync include HeyGen, DID, WAV2Lip, Synthesia, and others. All right, we've just covered all 5 pillars. Let me tell you, if you're still with me, you're doing amazing. This is deep stuff, but it's so important. Before we continue, do me a favor, hit that like button if this is making sense to you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to SAB Studios Academy, because we're building something special here. We're building a community of AI filmmakers who actually understand what they're doing. And remember, if you want to see these pillars in action, check out SAB Studios NG. That's our practical channel, where we show real projects and give you free cinematic audio for your films. For all our challenges and film festivals, you must use music from our official free playlist. If you have questions about any of the 5 pillars, drop them in the comments. We're listening. We will answer you. Now, let's keep going. Now, here's something really important. These 5 pillars don't work separately. They work together. Most beginners think they need to master one pillar at a time in isolation, but that's not how filmmaking works. Filmmaking is about combining elements. It's about layering. It's about making different parts work together to create something whole. Let me show you how the pillars connect with a full example. Let's say you want to create a 1-minute short film. The story is simple. A lonely astronaut sends a final message to Earth before running out of oxygen. Here's how you'd use the pillars together. Step 1. Text to image. You create images of the astronaut inside the spaceship. You create images of the astronaut's face, looking sad and tired. You create images of Earth seen through the spaceship window. Step 2. Text to speech. You write the astronaut's final message. If anyone can hear this, tell my family I was thinking of them. Tell them I tried. You use text to speech to generate a voice. Tired, emotional, fading. That's your audio. Step 3. Image to video. You take those still images of the astronaut and the spaceship and you animate them. The astronaut's eyes blink slowly, his hand reaches toward a button, the Earth slowly rotates outside the window. Now you have movement. Step 4. Lip sync. You take the close-up of the astronaut's face and sync his lips to the final message audio. Now when he speaks, his mouth moves. It feels real. Step 5. Optional. Text to video. Maybe you also want a quick shot of the spaceship drifting in space, exterior shot. You use text to video to generate that clip quickly. Now you edit all these pieces together. You layer in music, maybe from our free cinematic audio playlist on SAB Studios NG. You add sound effects, the hum of the spaceship, the beep of low oxygen alerts. And boom, you have a complete short film, and you used all 5 pillars working together. See how they connect? You don't just use one, you layer them, you combine them. They support each other. Let me give you another example, a simpler one. You want to make a motivational video for YouTube, just 30 seconds. Step 1, text to image. You create an image of a person standing on top of a mountain at sunrise, arms raised in victory. Step 2, text to speech. You write a short motivational script. Every day is a chance to rise higher. Keep climbing. You generate a powerful, inspiring voice. Step 3, image to video. You animate the image. The sunrise brightens, the clouds drift, the person's arms raise slowly. You don't need lip sync here because the person isn't speaking on camera. You don't need text to video because you already have your shot. But you still used 3 pillars together, and that's enough. The key lesson here, think about how the pillars support each other. Don't think of them as separate tools. Think of them as ingredients in a recipe. You mix them together to create the final dish. Now, let me ease your mind about something. You do not need to master all 5 pillars at once. I know this might feel overwhelming. 5 pillars? That's a lot. But here's the truth. You can start small. When you're a beginner, you don't need to use all 5 pillars in every project. You can focus on just 2 or 3. Let me give you permission right now. Start simple. Maybe you just focus on text to image and text to speech for your first few projects. You create still images and add voiceover narration. That's enough. That's a complete video. Or maybe you focus on text to image and image to video. You create beautiful visuals and animate them with music in the background. No dialogue, just visuals and music. That's a complete film too. You don't need to do everything on day 1. Think about it like learning to drive a car. When you first start, you focus on steering and braking. You don't worry about parallel parking or highway merging yet. You build up skills slowly. AI filmmaking is the same. Start with the pillars that feel most natural to you. Start with the pillars that fit your project. Then, as you grow, you add more. For example, if you love creating worlds and visuals, start with text to image. If you love storytelling and dialogue, start with text to speech. If you want to see things move, add image to video. When you're ready to level up your character work, learn lip sync. When you want speed, experiment with text to video. You don't climb all 5 mountains at once. You climb one at a time. And eventually, you'll have climbed them all. So please, don't feel pressured. Take your time. Master one pillar, then add another, then another. The goal is not to rush. The goal is to understand deeply and build your skills with confidence. All right, now let me tell you something from experience. There is one pillar that beginners almost always ignore, and later they regret it. That pillar is text to speech. Why do beginners ignore it? Because when you're starting out, you're excited about visuals. You want to create cool images. You want to see things move. You want your work to look cinematic. So you focus all your energy on text to image, image to video, text to video. And that's great. Visuals are important. But here's what happens. You create a beautiful video, stunning visuals, amazing movement. But there's no voice, no narration, no dialogue. And without voice, your film feels empty. It feels incomplete. It doesn't connect emotionally the way it could. Let me give you an example. Imagine 2 videos. Video 1, beautiful shots of a sunset over the ocean, waves crashing, birds flying, music playing. That's it, no voice. Video 2, same beautiful shots, same music.
But now there's a warm, calm voice saying, sometimes peace is found in the simplest moments. When we stop and listen, the world speaks to us. Which one has more impact? Which one makes you feel something deeper? Video too. Because the voice adds meaning, it adds emotion, it guides the audience. They tell them what to feel and think. Voice is powerful. Whether it's narration, dialogue, or voiceover, voice brings your film to life in a way that visuals alone cannot. I've seen so many beginners create stunning visuals and then try to avoid using voice because they're shy about their own voice or they don't think it's important. But voice is one of the most important pillars. Here's my advice. Don't skip text-to-speech. Even if you're nervous, even if you think your project is just visuals, experiment with adding a voice. See how it changes the feeling. You don't have to use your own voice. That's the beauty of text-to-speech. You can generate any voice you want. Male, female, young, old, energetic, calm, whatever fits your story. And if you do want to use your own voice, that's amazing too. But at least know that text-to-speech exists as an option. Don't make the mistake of ignoring voice. It will limit your films. Trust me on this. Alright, now let me tell you how every film you make will almost always touch at least 3 of these pillars. Let me show you. Example 1. A simple motivational video for YouTube. Text-to-image. Create the background visuals. Text-to-speech. Create the motivational narration. Image-to-video. Animate the visuals. 3 pillars. Example 2. A short narrative film about a hero's journey. Text-to-image. Create the character, the world, the villain. Text-to-speech. Voiceover narration or dialogue. Image-to-video. Bring scenes to life. Lip-sync. Make characters speak believably. 4 pillars. Example 3. A music video. Text-to-image. Create the visual style, characters, locations. Text-to-video. Quickly generate some scenes. Image-to-video. Animate key moments. 3 pillars.
See the pattern? You rarely use just one pillar. You layer multiple pillars together. And that's what makes AI filmmaking so powerful. You're combining these fundamental building blocks in creative ways to tell your unique story. So when you're planning a project, ask yourself, which pillars do I need for this? Do I need visuals? Yes, text-to-image. Do I need voice? Yes, text-to-speech. Do I need movement? Yes, image-to-video or text-to-video. Map it out. That's your production plan. All right, we're almost at the end of this class, and I want to say thank you for sticking with me. This was a lot of information, but you're building a strong foundation. If this lesson helped you, please like this video and subscribe to SAB Studios Academy. And don't forget to check out SAB Studios NG for practical examples and free cinematic audio for your projects. You'll need that music for your weekly challenges, monthly challenges, and quarterly film festivals. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. We're here. We're reading. We will respond. Now let's wrap this up with your assignment. Let's quickly recap what we learned today. We learned that AI filmmaking is built on 5 core pillars: text-to-image, creating the visual world; text-to-speech, giving characters and narration a voice; image-to-video, adding life and movement to still images; text-to-video, fast scene creation straight from descriptions; lip-sync, making characters believable when they speak. We learned that these pillars work together, not separately. We learned that you don't need to master all 5 at once. You can start with just 2 or 3. We learned that beginners often ignore text-to-speech, and that's a mistake. And we learned that almost every film you make will use at least 3 of these pillars. This is your mental map. This is your framework. Every time you start a new project, think about which pillars you need and build from there. Assignment. Now, here's your assignment, and this one is light and fun. I want you to think about the 5 pillars we covered today: text-to-image, text-to-speech, image-to-video, text-to-video, lip-sync. Which one excites you the most, and why? Maybe you love the idea of creating entire worlds with text-to-image, or maybe you love the idea of giving characters voices with text-to-speech, or maybe you're fascinated by bringing still images to life with image-to-video. Think about it, then write your answer in the comments. Tell me I'm most excited about pillar name because your reason. For example, I'm most excited about text-to-image because I love designing characters and worlds. Or, I'm most excited about lip-sync because I want to make my characters feel real. This is optional, but I highly encourage you to do it. Why? Because when you identify what excites you, that's where you should start. That's your natural entry point into AI filmmaking. So go ahead, drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading them, and I might even reply with tips based on which pillar you choose. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking this lesson seriously. You're learning skills that are going to open up incredible creative possibilities for you.
In our next class, we're going to dive even deeper. We're going to talk about how to write prompts that actually work, how to describe what you want so the AI gives you exactly what you need. Until then, keep thinking, keep planning, keep dreaming. I'll see you in the next class.